on this beautiful Friday. It is Mrs. Nuts of Anarchy. I've got Mr. Nutt next to me over here. We are going to go for a little ride. Just enjoy this beautiful weather we're having, because then it's supposed to rain, which nobody cares for the rain, but here we are. We are going to just have a conversation, kind of just a little back and forth, answer some questions. We are coming up this month on our 19th wedding anniversary, which is amazing. And then just some, general lifestyle things. We've talked about the way we eat, keto and intermittent fasting and things like that. So we're going to kind of update you there, and just, what life's like right now for Mr. and Mrs. Nutt and the crazy life.
Anybody that really gives a flying fuck.
If anybody cares, exactly. But here we are talking anyways. So let's get this ride going. Do this.
So it's kind of a rare day for us to be out on the CVOs.
It is. Usually we're running around town and we are on the Softails. But here we go. It is just after lunchtime. The sun is shining. It is a little breezy. So I've got my new fancy jacket on. But it's pretty freaking nice. Can't complain. I know there are people that still can't ride because there is still snow and ice.
Man, sometimes I want to move south.
Oh yeah.
Just because the little bit of riding that we miss here. Because I kind of feel like we're still a little too far north, but hell, I know we're riding when a lot of people can't.
Exactly. I see a lot of people in our Facebook groups and things like that are like, oh, we're ready for spring. Still haven't rode yet. And I'm thinking, oh, we've rode quite a few times actually, and we've had some 70-degree weekends, man. We've been pretty spoiled, I guess.
Well, it's hard to explain to people that, we live in northeast Oklahoma and it does get icy here.
Oh, for sure.
And we even got a little bit of snow this year. Not very much, but a little bit.
We had some days off school, though.
And yet, we're able to at least get our bikes out and ride them all about once a week.
Yeah.
At least, even in the dead of winter. There's very few times when one day in 7 I can't get the bikes out and take them around and get them good and hot.
Wow, there is quite a bit of traffic.
There's a lot of traffic today.
I'm used to this.
It's a little unusual.
It is. I mean, it's Friday, but... Oop, that was a crazy wide turn, my bad. I pulled out a little far to make my turn originally. Didn't expect so much traffic. All right, Mr. Nutt.
I've gotten used to not talking on these videos.
I know, it's unusual. He rides with me that I do most of the jibber-jabbering at ya. So today will be a little bit different. We're going to actually have a conversation.
So I like the idea. One of the things is that I've been riding motorcycles since I was 10 years old. I got my first dirt bike when I was 10 years old.
Right.
And I started riding street bikes at 16, living in California. So I got really used to riding street bikes. And I got my first Harley in my early 20s, mid-20s. And I've really never owned another type of bike since I bought my first Harley.
Right.
But there was a period at about 35 years old where I didn't have a motorcycle for about 20 years. Almost 20 years to the day.
Oh yeah, the whole time we've been together, which is, this year is our 21st year, I think.
This year will be the 21st anniversary of our first date.
First date, right.
In August.
Right. So the whole time that we've been together until the last couple of years, you never rode. We never rode together.
So in March of 18,
Yep.
we went into a Harley dealership and I picked up the first bike I had owned in 20 years. And without going through the entire story, we rode together with, you know, the real... Was it that you weren't a real bitch then? Is that the deal?
I'm pretty sure I was a real bitch then, but I did ride bitch.
Yeah, but you did ride bitch.
I did.
And
It was the first time.
Of course, anybody who knows you knows that's not going to go very well for very long.
No, kind of a control freak, and you know, real bitches don't ride bitch. Just is what it is.
So since you got your endorsement in June, I think, of 18.
July. But yeah.
You bought your first little Sportster right about the same time.
Yep.
And we've kind of been riding together.
Yep.
And one of the technologies that's really helped us is having headsets.
Yeah, I definitely love being connected through the headsets. It's interesting because we've met a couple of couples that ride together at some of the rallies and some of the events that we've done. And it was really cute. One lady who's like, I love riding. I've been riding for 10 years. And when I first learned, though, my husband tried to give me hints and tips. And, oh, there's a bump. And I threw that headset away. It was the first thing I did. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I really like the communication and where we can tell each other, oh, look out for this kind of thing. And just like I said in other videos, we kind of have some of our best conversations, which is why to have this conversation today, we thought, well, let's just get on the bikes and go for a little ride. So I love the communication on the bikes. It's fantastic. So
I mean, I think our marriage, you know, for those that don't know, there is a little over a 20-year age difference with us. 20 years and a few months. I was born in March and you were born in August. 20 years apart. And you know, our relationship has always been rather odd because we've never really, personally, I don't think between the two of us, we feel that age difference. We never really have.
Right.
Except for the fact that it should be reversed. You're kind of like the old person that's, you know, telling people to turn down the music and get off my lawn. And I think I've got a more immature or younger personality.
Yeah. Immature, that's the word.
But, but I've always been a very protective person when I was young. I worked in close quarter security, so it's always been some of my instincts. And one of the things we established when we started riding, for you guys out there that are riding with your wives, is I always ride in the danger zone. I kind of see myself as the protector, where I try and take the part of the lane that is most likely to encounter a problem. But when Mrs. Nutt was learning to ride on the highway, because she'd never really ridden on the highway, this gave me also, by being behind her, hope you can see that the view's not all that bad. She looks really, really good on her bikes. But it gave me a perspective where I can, like, give her tips and hints on how to pass cars and what to look for. And over the last year and a half plus, she's developed her own real good natural eye for watching cars and kind of knowing who, you know, who, if you watch cars in your field of vision ahead of you, you can kind of see who's acting a little erratic, who's kind of impatient, which cars might turn right in front of you, where the problems might be in upcoming traffic. And it's not a perfect science, but I think it's helped Mrs. Nutt to develop the skills and keep herself in a safe zone while we ride.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
So as we ride, we did a live video on Facebook a few months back on our keto program and on our health goals and weight loss. And I don't know if I want that to be the focus on this as much as I want, you know, the fact that being a couple that rides together, man, it's been our marriage has always been good. I think that's what I was starting way back there before I got on my little tangent. But it's really, I think, helped our relationship a lot.
Oh, for sure. I think that...
I think it's been beneficial.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think it's been beneficial. Riding together the last year and a half or whatever it's been. Almost 2 years, I guess, since... Well, yeah, almost 2 years. So, no, I think it's... I mean, it became, you know, couples are always trying to develop, you know, activities and things to do together. And we were no different, trying to decide, oh, do we want to start golfing, or do we want to start who knows what activity to kind of just get us out of the house more and engage with each other. I mean, more. We don't have our kids, so, you know, we had to find things that entertained us that were not surrounded, you know, by kids. Usually are the common denominator for so many couples. That's not ours. So we always had to find things that we enjoy doing together, which we enjoy doing 99% of things together, even if they're not interesting, grocery shopping, whatever. But the motorcycling has definitely been, I mean, just relationship boosting. I think the way we get out on the road, we used to get out, and like during the summer, we get out every night almost and ride and talk for an hour, because what else do you have to do when you're riding? I mean, you enjoy a little bit of the wind therapy yourself and the quiet time, which is, you know, meditative, and but the conversations are, you know, priceless.
You know, for me, it's almost really weird, because I get out and ride a little bit by myself, because
He's not as much a fair weather rider as I am. Let's go with that.
My wife is a bit of a fair weather rider, and when it gets really cold, like most girls on most things, she is not a huge fan.
Nope. We'll admit it.
So this has been an activity that we both enjoyed, and more than anything, it's given us a shared interest in the bikes themselves, the mechanics of the bikes, how they work. You know, I've never been a real car guy. I love my big trucks. And, you know, Mrs. Nutt has always been, you know, the type of person that, you know, she'll get involved in anything. She's not really, I don't know that I want to call her a tomboy, but she does like sports. She's an aggressive competitor. And this has been an activity that we both liked, and rather than her just becoming somebody who like just rides the bikes, she's gotten to know the bikes a little bit. She can name every model Harley makes, and I think maybe it helps that I'm such a crazy brand whore for the Harley brand, and I'm that way in most of my life. I mean, I find a brand that I love, and normally it appeals to my design sensibilities, and I kind of gravitate towards it, and it takes a fairly major failing on that brand for me to leave. When I leave a brand, I do it, it's almost like mourning. I really love what I love, and there's reasons for it. It's not just something that I superficially gravitate towards. So her being able to, you know, look at my design sensibilities and see those in the bikes, and see why I love this motorcycle, and love the activity of motorcycling as well, I think that's been a big one for us.
Yeah.
But one of the things I've tried to teach her while we're riding, and one of the things we've tried to really keep when we're riding, is I want her to find her safest spot in the lane, and then I want the other spot. And every once in a while, you'll probably see on our videos that I'll see a threat to her, or traffic doing something weird, and I'll ride up beside her and even maybe get in front of her and make sure that the people know we're there. You see these people in these cages, they don't always see motorcycles because they're not always looking. They don't always see other cages, let alone motorcycles.
Exactly.
I guess the other difference between us is my patience with being a geek, and your impatience with technology and the geekdom.
Oh, we're gonna go there, huh? Interesting. Yes, my frustration with things that should just work the right way the first time, and they don't.
So you'll probably notice on the camera, you may or may not notice, that I've got Apple CarPlay rolling on my bike.
And I do not, because it took me 10 minutes, and guess what? It didn't want to connect the right way, and I disconnected and reconnected and disconnected and reconnected, and I'm not doing it for a fourth time. So guess what? I have an Apple map. I don't have an Apple map, and that's just fine with me. I have a Harley map, and guess what? It works.
So we're going to end that subject really quick.
Exactly. No need to linger. Alright, we're going to head up Route 66 here.
You know, we're going to end this video. We appreciate the small audience we have. We seem to be developing a pretty good audience on Facebook, which we're grateful for. We're getting it's a small audience on YouTube, but one of the important things for us was to grow our little vlog organically and let it take hold as it takes hold. I've been in digital marketing for a long time and creative media for a long time, and one of the things for me was to build something that had a good organic base to it and some good solid content. So, Mrs. Nutt, you can sign off here if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, it's always fun to kind of have these conversations and kind of answer questions about how we live our life and how we do the things we do and all the things that we do. And, yeah, so peace and love, everybody. Enjoy a beautiful weekend, I hope. And like our video if you like it, comment if you have any questions, and just live your best life.
There we go.
Peace out.
All right.